Okay, I'm going to take a video here and share about how the village is. Here that I was just showing you is on my right. That's 2 houses behind me. Here's another house. There's a kitchen back behind here. I was just over here taking pictures of this chocolate fruit tree, but the seeds are where we get cocoa tree. Isn't that cool? And the fruit, flowers and fruit go all the way up to the top. Alright, so here are is a kitchen for the people that live here in this house. This is Estiani. She's mending her clothes. And they have a window. I wanted to show you just a little walk through the village where our house is at. There's the church, the yellow building on the right. And let me look, standing here still, that direction down the trail, there's the water. You see the water? Right now that's the height of the water. So they come up in their canoe, come up a trail. And the water's a little bit lower on the next trip. Brad will be parking down this trail and we'll come to our house by this route. Alright, so walk down here a little ways. Our house is the next one on the left. It's a little shack here, it's just used for storage. Another little tiny shack that is used as a generator house. We have a generator for the church that they use when we're not here. And this here is our house. It is much larger and has a water tub. We catch rainwater in there in front, and that feeds my kitchen sink. I have the door shut because I'm not home right now, so the kids don't go in. The kids are playing on a swing we put up. Let me show you this is our shower, part that sticks out on the side. Brad made with running water from the water tub that we catch rainwater off the back of the house. I'm getting poked. Alright, so normally our boat, this trip is parked right down here, but Brad is out trying to catch a fish real quick right now. So here's the back side of our house. We have things stored underneath it, keep it out of the rain for building project for the next trip. There's the outhouse. We have a couple little trees, and that's the walk up. It's close right now because the water's still pretty high. It's very nice up the hill. So as we come up the hill, this is the kind of the central area of the village. And we have the church right across from our house that I'm right next to. The white and red house over there, or used to be red, is the teacher's house that has been here for quite a number of years. This building here was started by the missionaries before us and was never completed with their money and has just set. This is a schoolhouse. It's the secondary schoolhouse, and Veronica is sitting in class with kids her age right now, or the people studying her grade level. Alright, so this is a little thing that enables the telephone to work here, and the telephone is actually working right now. These are our neighbors' first house. Their house is fairly new. The shack next to them, they're starting to tear down this trip. Used to be where their radio was and where they had some medical supplies, but all of this medical supplies have been taken down to the chief's house. So we just have places where we, the other building back there on the other side of the volleyball net here is the main schoolhouse. And they're in class right now. so I don't want to disturb them. Alright, and this roof behind is a new thing they just built this last week to be a kitchen to make snacks for the students. This central area has lots of shade. Sometimes they use it when they have gatherings, but right now there's a lot of weeds that have grown up and they haven't cut it down and trimmed it. Here's a house, Hoki's house. She is a single grandmother who takes care of lots of grandkids. And here's some grandkids that she takes care of that are always hanging around. Hoki's house. Boa tarde, Hoki. Estou mostrando coisas aqui para quando eu visitar Estados Unidos, eles podem conhecer pouco.
Ah, sim. Aí tu tá filmando.
See, I was just explaining to her what I was doing, that I wanted to take some video here. Behind her house, she built a new thing, and when the teachers came this couple weeks ago, they didn't have anywhere to stay, and she was gracious to let them stay in the new house that she had just built rather than moving into it herself. There's a little covering for a generator that I think is actually the chief's, even though it's right next to Hoki's house. And she just kind of cooks. I didn't show you her cooking area is right next to her house. She usually cooks right below her house, right there. This is where she makes a fire on the ground and cooks. All right, so the next house is Carolina's house. Is a very elderly single woman. She has a single younger girl with a baby that's an unwed girl that takes care of her. And Brad and I were just over here praying with her because she's very feeble, unable to walk around. She pretty much just stays in her house, and people bring things and care for her. And she's recently had walls put up and steps to her house, which has been a nice addition. The next lot used to be a house and it fell down. One of the chief's sons. He has plans to rebuild it, but he hasn't started yet. This next place, they just put walls up because this is another house that they are allowing the teachers to live in. And when we got here a couple weeks ago, it had no walls. And they threw the floorboards down quick and put some walls up. And this small place is where two of the single teachers live. They're actually sisters, Brazilians. So here is the chief's house, and back behind is one of his son's houses that has 3 children now. This right here is the football field where they play soccer, the soccer field actually. We call it football. And this is the little cooking place. When they're going to have a party, they will cook over here. When there's big groups here to play football, they all hang out underneath here to have some shade and just a community used building. But they have good places to assist the game. It used to be, this was cleared originally as a airstrip with the missionaries before, and the airstrip started somewhere back there and went all the way back through this middle section that's full of trees now because they didn't keep it cleared, and it just grew back very quickly. You could never imagine that was an airstrip now. But this is the best football field or soccer field in a long area around here. So visiting people congregate on Sundays afternoons, and they have little tournaments and competitions. And so I'm just walking down this path that is the main path through the village. This is Ortaciliu's house, and he built this big place in front. They still live in the place back behind. I think one of his daughters, maybe his older son, is living in this place in front that doesn't have walls. But they never finished it. A few years ago, they received money from the government specifically to build better homes. A bunch of them, like Ortaciliu, started a job, and then they ran out of, they quit giving him money, and so they just stopped. This is his house where his wife and his kids and daughter with her kids live. And this is their little kitchen area back behind here. They have kind of a neat setting for their stove where they have a fire, because it looks like it's just wood, but it's like clay underneath so it doesn't burn through the floor. And then they make a fire right there with wood and cook up here in this building. You can tell the up above is all black. They have one son here. He's ignoring me. That's okay. That's normal. This is down to where the water comes. They can bring their canoe for their walkway. Recently, their daughter married one of the other boys, and he built this place. So this is Cecilia's daughter's house. It's very small, and she's cooking underneath the house where they haven't put flooring yet. This is still right across from the football field, the soccer field. So back to the main path. This is Pedro's house. He's been bit by poisonous snakes and had a stroke because of high blood pressure, and he's doing quite well, recuperating, but he's very weak and can't walk far. He's still an active elder in the church and has much wisdom. He's able to come to main services. We have prayer service tonight. He likes to come to the day services for sure. I think he's in process of building a new house.